Hi, and welcome to Gravity this season. In this episode, we'll be looking at football. My name is Trisha Alker, and I'm excited to bring you these exercises because football is truly a sport that every player will benefit from with total body strength and conditioning. Think about it, in football there are a lot of different positions that have many different requirements on their performance, but each player typically is still going to have to do certain tests either in high school or college football. They're pretty consistent in their training procedures. So what we're going to focus on today, our objectives with the football program, is to help our players train for these tests so they can improve their performance on those, as well as also get a great total body workout, because think about it, more strength and endurance and conditioning is only going to translate to better performance on the field. So looking at our exercises today, we're going to have primary exercises and secondary exercises. A lot of the tests that these players are going to have to do include the bench press, the overhead press, squats, things like that, the clean and jerk. So we're definitely going to have our primary exercises a little more focused on those tests and their performance. But the secondary exercises are just as important because, again, we're trying to deliver a complete workout for our players so that they can have a balanced body and balanced levels of fitness. So we're going to get started here with day one in our workout. What we did is we have day one and we have day two. The reason why we did this is just to give you a sample of how you could take these two exercises, or two lists of exercises, and put them into a workout. And there's so many that you probably want to break it up. On your exercise list, you'll be able to see which we consider primary and which secondary. But it doesn't really matter. All of these together, again, will give that comprehensive workout. So I'm going to call Adam over here in just a second. Adam, can I borrow you? Nice. Adam is going to help me out here in demonstrating these exercises. Now, these will mostly be familiar for you because these are pretty typical personal training exercises that you're already doing with your clients, but we're going to give them that twist for football. How's it going, Adam?
Doing good.
Good, all right. Thanks
you.
for coming. So I'm going to have you go ahead and get on the glide board. We're going to start with a basic squat, just a bilateral squat. So you're going to sit at the bottom there. Good. Now we're only going to be doing a couple repetitions of each exercise just so you can get a feel of how it flows. But typically in any program, you're going to want to be doing about 3 sets of each exercise and 15 to 20 repetitions. Okay, so keep that in mind. So a basic bilateral squat, coming down and up, good. Again, our football players are used to doing squats. They're just maybe not used to doing it on the GTS. But the benefits are we can really work on their form and help them with that so that their form, as that improves, their performance can improve. Good. Perfect, Adam. Now, a little variation we're going to do right away is a toes in squat. So he's going to slightly turn the toes in, not too much, and then drop it down and up. Good. Now try to avoid letting the knees fall together. They're going to come slightly together, but just not all the way in. What we're trying to do is also work on injury prevention. We want to help protect those knees by working all the muscles and tendons and ligaments surrounding these joints. So the knee joint in particular will benefit from us working the quads in many different areas, or many different positions, excuse me. So now let's go for a toes out squat. Same thing, good. But the difference is now when we move to the toes out squat, we're also moving that emphasis. Remember, going up the legs to work to the glutes. So running, power in the legs, we're going to get that through these various positions on squats. So bilateral is fine, but let's move to unilateral. This is where you're going to see a little bit of challenge for some of your athletes. Move your foot towards the center for me, good. So basic bilateral squat, they're probably used to doing bilateral like we were just doing, but now let's move it to unilateral. It allows us to work on any imbalances that that client or that player might have. So basic unilateral squat, good, and we'd be adjusting each, or switching back and forth. Then we're going to go back to the first leg and we're going to turn it in just a little bit like we did with the bilateral. Good, not too much, but just a little. So this is your way to really emphasize the unilateral nature of running and having the power and being able to cut and turn and move in any direction. Good, why don't you change legs? Now hold up, we're going to have you turn your toes out for this one.
Okay.
And then the same thing. So again, just a couple reps of each so you get the feel of it. But think about it, that knee needs to be able to be stable to stop, start, turn, go, quick. And training your legs in different foot positions on the GTS allows you to hit that. Okay, and hold up, good. So that's our squat, bilateral, unilateral. Let's turn on our side for the lateral, single leg lateral. So you're gonna bring that top leg good down in front. You can actually bring it pretty far off. Put your heel down in the corner there. Now you wanna make sure your clients, especially these football players, they're probably gonna be pretty good size. Like Adam here, they're not your petite little gymnasts anymore. So be aware of their body position on the GTS. He's gonna need to scoot as far back as he can on the GTS without falling off. Good. And then bring your foot forward. It's okay if it's even partly off the squat stand. Nice. We do that because now as he goes down into his squat, we want to watch that knee. We always want to protect the knee in a loaded situation. So it's just following over the toes, but not going out past the toes. So single leg lateral squat, pretty basic right there. Okay? Good. Nice. Now you can be up on the arm or you could lay your head down, whatever's more comfortable for your client. And that's it, pretty basic. But very effective, again, working unilateral. So let's go onto your back again like you were for the bilateral squat. Okay, next we're going to go into our plyometric squat. This is where the fun really begins and the power really develops. So coming into a basic squat position, hold it for just a second. I want you to get a good feel of this and then go ahead and explode out of that into your plyos. Nice. So this is some really nice starting in a static position, explode out, or continue it moving for that continuous plyometric load. So this is going to develop power in those legs. But you know what, it could also develop endurance, because if I made him do this for about 2 minutes solid, 1 minute solid even probably, it gets there quick, and that's that endurance but repetitive stretch shortening cycle of the muscles. Okay, good job, you can hold up there, nice. So from the plyometric squat, we're gonna go and just move it side to side. So go down, bring your feet a little closer together. Okay. So as you come down in your squat, and then just take your feet side to side. So we've got variations. We can do it as skiing, turning our feet side to side, or if you thought about parallel skiing, like just bring your feet, keep the toes pointed up, and just move them side to side on the glide board. Good. So you're gonna plant your feet over here, turn them up, just keep your toes up, and then push off and then land over there. So it's just side to side without turning your toes. So you just keep it up straight. There we go. Good. Nice. Maybe I need to go to coaching school because I don't quite have the coaching skills on that one yet. Nice. But moving side to side where we get a little bit of hip motion too and a little bit of movement there. So perfect. So from here, drop down those heels. And there's a lot more you can do with plyos, but just remember, those are your power exercises that are really gonna develop that explosive power. So heels drop between the rails of the squat stand here, as you can see, and then all you need to do is just come onto the toes and back down. Good. Very important to have strong gastrocnemius, strong calves. They're gonna help with that running, that exploding out of the line up there to get after their opponent, whatever they need to get to be. It's those gastrocnemius, the calf muscle is going to help us with that. You can also work one leg at a time by just simply taking one leg off or putting pressure just on one over the other. Why do you want to do that? Again, if you have a dominant leg and you want to make sure this player stays in balance, just with that total body balance of their fitness, this is what you could do. You could emphasize it a little bit more one side or the other. Good job, Adam. Okay, so from the heel raise, we're gonna go ahead and have you stand up, take your feet to the outside. Good, lower this down. We're gonna go to a hamstring curl because we're working the quads a lot. Okay, good, we're working the quads a lot, the front. We have a lot of focus so far on the front, little bit on the glutes as we moved into toes out, but let's really emphasize here the hamstrings. Hamstrings are very, very important running muscles. So very basic hamstring curl. So you're leading with the heels. Good. Now remember that your foot holder does adjust. If you've got a really big football player with long feet, you can adjust that for them to get in and out of that. Good. So very basic with two legs, but doesn't have to stay that way. We can really load one side or the other. Adam, I'm going to have you pull up with two legs. Keep your feet in there, but just take pressure off one ankle as you lower down, and then try the other leg. So it's hard to see, but what Adam's doing is he's using 2 legs to pull up, and then he uses just one leg, pressure on one leg to lower himself down. So he's loading one side or the other. Now, you're really advanced athletes, you could actually take the leg out, but personally I don't see the need, and it keeps that safety mechanism there. They have the foot to catch them. Okay, so hamstring curl with crunch. Let's just take it up a notch. So you can bring your hands to your chest here, you can cross your chest here, or you can go behind your head. Good, whatever's comfortable. Good, so it's a hamstring and a crunch. The player doesn't need to come up all the way, just crunching off the board. Nice, you can add some rotation side to side. Good. Now, if you really have that advanced athlete, that high level athlete, you could do a variation where you take one leg all the way out, if you've practiced it with both legs in, and as you do your rotation or your crunch, you have one leg moving in and out, or you're really loading that one leg that stays in. I won't have Adam do it now. He's been playing, I think, a little bit before coming to our workout. But just think, these are variations that you can utilize. Get creative. All right, go ahead and sit all the way up. For the last exercise, the next exercise that I want to do, we're just going to take the squat stand off and add our overhead press bar, okay? Adam, I see it actually over there. Do you mind grabbing the press bar for me? Thank you. So you have a lot of accessories with the GTS, and you might as well utilize them. There's a lot of different exercises that you can do just by changing out an accessory. So putting on the press bar, as I mentioned, one of the tests that football players do get tested on is the shoulder press. Now, typically they're going to be sitting in an upright position doing a shoulder press. However, we can train in a whole different way, and you're going to see some great variations. Okay, so we're putting our player in an inverted position now, inverted and prone position. At first, just becomes a basic overhead press. So he's going to lower himself down and push up again, keeping a nice neutral neck as he looks through the rails. Very nice. It's such a great way to build up their strength because, as you notice, we're at a certain level here and we can work up from there as needed. But we don't even need to change the level yet of the incline. All we need to do is add a little power. So let's see that. You're going to explode up the rails, let go, and catch yourself. Think about it. Power on the GTS, training for power, is going to translate to increased strength performance in these tests. Not to mention just great performance on the field. Great job. One more power. Good. And then hold up. And then remember the variation we did with the hamstring curl? Same thing we could do here. We push up with 2 arms. Oh, Adam is so on it. He's already going to the plyometric 1 arm. Let's take out the plyos for a second. You're going to push up with 2 and then just take pressure off of 1 as you come down. So notice that. That is such a great way to overload one side over the other. So you can do that where you use 2 arms to go up and then 1 arm down. If you really wanted to work on 1 arm press-ups, you could do that too. You just go to the correct incline level. Great. So that's the overhead press. Very nice. Again, such a fun way to add plyometrics, and I guarantee you your football players have not done that before. They can't do it in the gym. That's unique to the GTS. Okay, so go ahead and lower yourself down and you can get off. We're going to connect the pulleys here. Okay, so we're going to go into horizontal shoulder abduction. Okay, so we're just going to use this side. I'm going to have you step over to this side for me, Adam. Have a seat. And then you're going to take this handle, and I want you to, take it in the opposite hand. Now, sitting up tall, he can take his feet off the floor, crossing his ankles, whatever's comfortable there. Very simply, wherever his elbow is, make sure it stays there. So it should be slightly flexed, but he's just going to pull across the body. Good. So going into horizontal shoulder abduction, good. Nice. Now I'm going to have you put your feet down and stand up for just 1 second. Hold the handle. I'm going to drop down 1. Let's go ahead and try that again. Just to show you that you can work at a higher level with shorter levers, or at any time you can move that incline and he can go to a longer lever. Okay, that might be the hardest part for you training football players on the GTS, to get them to change levels, especially if it's down, because they're going to get it in their head that, no, I'm at the top. I'm level 8 for everything. So they'll find out quickly they can't do that. But horizontal shoulder abduction, very good, nice. Okay, especially if you're throwing the ball a lot, you're going to want to make sure you're balancing both arms. That's quarterback, right?
Mm-hmm.
Thought so. Okay, so seated shoulder flexion. Very easy. All I need you to do is grab the other handle. Easy transition. Go ahead and turn around and face away from the tower. Same thing, we want to protect these shoulders, and the way we protect the shoulder joint is by strengthening all the muscles surrounding that joint. So from here, your feet can come up. Now, if you have hamstring flexibility issues, remember you can just straddle the board. So if your arms are straight by your side, you got to sit up tall, and they come down by your side, and then all you're going to do is just extend straight out in front of you. Good. Just about up to shoulder height. So I'm working bilaterally. You do have the option to go unilaterally as well, okay? So this is that seated shoulder flexion, just protecting the shoulder joint, strengthening all around. So lateral shoulder raise, you ready for another change?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so feet down, you're gonna step off to that side. Now I want you to turn around and straddle like so that you're facing the tower like you're gonna do a bicep curl. Okay, but now you're gonna lie all the way back down. Look at this. You are putting your football players in positions that they don't usually get into. So it's going to be kind of fun for them, kind of exciting. So, or at least different, right? So palms face your body, and simply from here, you're going to go out to the side. Good. Now, that's a good example. I paid him to do that, to top out. So what you want to do is have your client just scoot up a little higher. Remember, they can even, yes, perfect, Adam, take their feet off the glide board into tabletop position. Now on this one, you want to watch because they don't have a mirror, so you probably want to come in here and tell them where to stop so they don't go too high. Okay, there's no reason to go too high. You can do both arms at the same time, one arm at a time. It's up to you. Good. Okay, nice. All right, good job. So go ahead and bring yourself back up. So again, giving us some good overall exercises, but also exercises that help prevent some of those injuries. Now, for the plyo sprint start, we're going to do this without the squat stand. You can do it with the squat stand on. I think, Adam, that's how you usually do it, right? With the squat stand. But you can also use the base here of the GTS. So what I'm going to have Adam do, let me detach those pulleys for you. Okay. I'm going to have you put one knee on the board, and then one foot on the base there. Good. And then very simply, you're just going to lower yourself down and then push off again. Good. Now don't go too far. You don't want to point your toe. You just want to extend it out. You might try a couple reps and then need to change your positioning. Good. If you find that you're too high up on the board. Good. Just so that you don't extend out too far. Very easy. So that's the regular sprint start. Now, plyo sprint start, you want to watch your foot. You want to keep it low there, but you give it a little push. Something look pretty easy to you on this one? He might be a little low for this, okay? But hey, if this was his first time doing this exercise, I probably would keep him low to make sure he can do it comfortably. Okay, hold up just a second. I'm going to have you stand up. Let's see what happens if we raise this a little. Okay, now let's try it. Make sure you really, if you're not using a squat stand, that they're going to feel comfortable catching themselves. Okay? Good. All right, so you get the idea. That's the plyo sprint start. Okay, good job. You are done. Nice. I'm going to go back down. So again, on that emphasis on the legs, let's look at some lunges. Lunges are going to be a great exercise you can do. So the incline lunge, facing the glide board. Good, one foot on top there. And you're going to drop down in. As you do, the back heel comes off and come back up. Good. Very nice. Now this is going to actually give a lot of stability challenge to the knee and just balance challenge to your player. Okay, and we're working unilateral again. It's a great way to train one side or the other. Good. Now if I had a ball, I could play with a medicine ball with him here, or he could hold a medicine ball and rotate. Add in your props, that's fine. Okay, good. Hold up there. Go ahead and face this way. Same foot on top. We're going to do the lateral lunge now. Although I consider this more a little bit of a one-legged squat because he's going to squat there on his left leg. So just take it down and up. Good. On this one, be really careful about the overstretching because they're going to get nervous. Your football players, whoa, wait a minute, I don't go that way. Hold on, my body does not, I don't do the splits. So just make sure they understand the emphasis is over there. Same thing, if I had a medicine ball right here, it would be very easy to play catch with Adam, add in a whole new dynamic, get their reactions and their reflexes being trained. The last lunge I would show you here, turn around, and we have a reverse lunge. So don't just think about muscular strength when you're training your football players. Think about their reflexes, their reactions, their coordination, their balance as well. Okay, nice. So that's day 1. We're going to show you day 2 in just a second. Great job, Adam.
Thank you.